We are.
So, this is episode 1 of the Insurance People podcast. What do you think of the name? Do you like it? All right, good. So my name is Mike Anderson, owner, founder of Anderson Benefit Partners. And we serve small groups, 2 to 200 employees with all things employee benefits. And then we also serve individuals who buy their own insurance. The purpose of our podcast is to help people who are buying insurance. So HR people, CFOs, business owners, people who are buying their own insurance, and to help them connect with the right carrier. And we're also, I suppose, helping agents and brokers, other agents and brokers, finding the right insurance companies to work with. And today we have Blaine Beck with Transamerica as our very first victim number 1. So Blaine, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Mike. Happy to be here. Thank you to everyone that's tuning in. Again, my name is Blaine Beck. I have been in the employee benefits group insurance industry for 10 years. I've always enjoyed helping businesses and employers of all sizes and industries. I personally have a natural entrepreneurial spirit, so I always enjoy learning about businesses and how I can provide value and solutions to help them. I think a strategically planned employee benefits package can make a significant impact in helping an employer recruit and maintain top talent. And we all know that's arguably more important now than ever. And then prior to starting in the exciting group insurance industry, I worked my way through college at the University of St. Thomas. I managed some wedding venues, and I owned a wedding and DJ and photo booth business, and did that for several years and did hundreds of events, which was a lot of fun.
I love that. That's great. I just envisioned like a benefit fair with you like spinning beats.
That would get people to the booth. I think
it would bring people over. I think it absolutely would. So Blaine, I spilled maybe the beans a little bit in the introduction there, but tell us what carrier you're representing.
Yeah, I work for Transamerica, and I lead our employee benefits practice here in the upper Midwest region. Transamerica, it's a name that many people are at least familiar with. We're a leading provider of retirement and 401k, as well as insurance solutions. I work with broker partners like yourself and employers to develop group insurance and employee benefits packages across Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Iowa.
Awesome. That's great. So as in our notes before we started here today, what do you think Transamerica's biggest strengths are? And if you dare share, their biggest weakness?
Perfect. All right, I'll start with the strengths. Remind me about the weaknesses. Don't let me out. Okay. So at Transamerica, some of the employee benefits programs that we help with include short-term and long-term disability income protection, life insurance, FMLA tracking and administration, and then supplemental health insurance plans that help complement group medical plans. Many of the programs that we offer can be paid for either by the employer or offered through the workplace on a voluntary basis at affordable group rates to the employees. I think, as far as like the greatest strength of Transamerica, I think my favorite thing about working here is that there's a true focus on financial wellness. We call it our Wealth Plus Health initiative to help people live their best lives. And, being a provider and a leader in both the financial services sector, as well as insurance, helps us really, work with employers and employees to take a look at the big picture when it comes to planning for both the short and the long term. I personally am very passionate about financial wellness and financial literacy. I think personal finance is an important component to living your best life, and this can be achieved through understanding and planning. And I realize I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to this stuff, but insurance is an important component to everyone's financial wellness picture. And it's imperative to really do an inventory of what risks you can self-insure for and cover if the unexpected were to happen, and then maybe what risks make sense to purchase insurance for that extra protection and for that peace of mind. And then, finally, employers can play an important role in financial wellness, and that results in happier and more productive employees. And I think we can all agree that's a good outcome for everybody involved.
Amen. Awesome. Well said.
And then
well,
the weaknesses, I promised I wouldn't forget. So I'll give you two.
Okay.
So, first, I think insurance, it can be complicated. It often feels like it's a foreign language. And there's endless types of policies and provisions and riders. And I think it's really important for those of us that work in specialized segments of the industry to be empathetic to that and to deliver solutions that truly meet the needs of our clients. And that's why I love working with great partners like yourself. I think it's important for us to ask the right questions so that we can tailor solutions to meet the needs of our clients, and really keep things simple with recommendations versus overwhelming people with endless options. So I think that's Transamerica. I think that's any insurance company. I think it's important to stay true to that. The second thing I would say is technology. When you think of being a leader in technology, insurance companies probably aren't the first companies that come to mind for most people. Rightfully so. The industry, since I've joined 10 years ago, when part of my first job was to check the fax machine on a regular basis.
Yeah.
We've made some strides, but I think we still have a long ways to go.
Totally.
Being able to submit claims electronically, that's really important for people, meeting people where they're at. I think, as customers, when I can, order an Uber on my smartphone and have someone pick me up in 10 minutes, or order basically virtually anything on Amazon and have it arrive at my doorstep in a day or two, our expectations have changed. And I think it's really important for, every insurance company to at least, keep up that pace as far as meeting people where they're at. So technology is definitely a big focus of Transamerica. And I think the industry as a whole, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Well, thank you for including those things there. So Blaine, with Transamerica, what do you think, in a nutshell, what do you think the biggest problem in the marketplace that Transamerica is helping solve?
Sure. Again, back to financial wellness, right? That's the key. And I think, that's the underlying goal of every HR person, every CFO. That's why people spend a ton of time, effort, and money, putting these benefit programs together. I think one of my biggest obstacles working in this segment of the industry for the last decade has been that health insurance receives a lot of attention from employers and brokers. And I fully understand why, don't get me wrong. It is very important. But some of these other plans that are a very important piece to the financial wellness puzzle often kind of get pushed to the side when there's maybe not quite enough time leading up to annual enrollment to relook at these. And I think it is important to invest some time every year to look at, kind of all aspects of your benefits package, and make sure that, they still meet the needs of your employees, and go out to market every once in a while and make sure that you're working with a vendor that is, still the best fit for you and your organization. So that would be my plug for everyone to take a look at their life, disability, supplemental health insurance plans, and really, question, are they still the right fit for you, or should we reach out to a great partner, in the market like yourself to help explore the right options?
Absolutely. And a couple of things that popped into my head as you were saying that. I think that the plans can only be as good as the advisor and the representative, right? So much of the service piece of that and implementation is driven through the broker and advisor. I love working with you. You do a great job, and you represent, the company so well. And this month particular being Disability Insurance Awareness Month, we talk about like financial wellness, only 14% of people are insured with a disability income protection plan. And then when you look at the employer market, that it costs, there was a recent survey, it's something like 30% of an employee's salary to replace that person if they leave. So there's a lot of there's a lot of reasons to take note and make sure that we have the right plan in place. So I think that's fantastic. You did a great job for the Insurance People podcast, episode number 1. So we're going to close out, Blaine, with your favorite motivational quote.
Okay, I've got one for you. And full disclosure, I have a sucker for motivational quotes. So this isn't my favorite, but it's a one that I came across recently that I'll share. Okay, so success isn't overnight. It's when every day you get a little better than before. It adds up. That's a quote from Dwayne Johnson, a man that transcends generations. From my childhood, he was The Rock from pro wrestling. And for my daughter, he's Maui from the Disney movie Moana. So totally. Pretty cool dude, and I think he's got it spot on right there.
I love it. Thanks, man. I appreciate you being here today. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Have a great weekend.
You too.